everyone, what's up? How are ya? Hope you're fine. My name is Anya. It's time for some creepy videos again. So let's hope they're creepy, huh? Okay.
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
it's loud. Okay, that's...
Who's that?
That was
How you
loud.
doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some scary videos that are starting to spook the internet. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more freaky content. Just like this. Our first clip of the day shows something eerie happening at a church. Its origins are unknown, but this version was uploaded to TikTok by Scary Central. The OP claims they were walking by their local church late at night when they heard an unsettling noise. When they rounded the corner, they spotted this.
A weird draft. Vibrations.
The glass doors are banging violently and there's no clear reason why. It's late at night and the caretakers have long gone home, yet somehow the door keeps rattling. Some viewers suggested that the door might be automatic and that the sensor mechanism has malfunctioned.
I was just thinking that, and I was gonna wait until he finishes the next sentence and wonder that maybe there's some malfunction if it's an electrical door opening, trying to open but it's locked.
Causing the door to pulse. While a lot of people would love to believe it's as simple as a faulty mechanism, the fact that it's happening at a church has led many to speculate that it could be some kind of evil spirit trying to get in the building.
I'd rather say trying to get
If
out.
you saw this happening at your local church late at night, would you stick around to film it, or would you scoot away as fast as you can? Let me know down below. Zoe Ramses is a paranormal investigator based in Mexico who travels the country in search of proof that the afterlife really does exist. In this episode, the OP was tipped off by a colleague who claims that a witch lives in an old, undisclosed graveyard in Mexico. Locals say it's not uncommon to hear screams coming from the cemetery late at night. There's also been mysterious lights and unidentified shadow figures spotted on the property. Fueled by these rumours, this YouTuber decides to camp the night in this infamous graveyard. He begins by tentatively exploring the old crumbling tombstones all alone.
I'd be so creeped out.
Hola. Buenas noches.
While looking for a place to set up camp, he hears something nearby.
Tipo casi. Ay, güey. Hola. Buenas noches.
Before long, he spots something dark moving in the distance.
A la madre, ¿qué es eso? A la madre, ay, que me caigo.
Did we? I was just wondering if
He looks around the area, but there doesn't appear to be anything there.
if I've seen the video before. But why that person could have been hiding there, but I think it was just a similar one.
Amigo.
Spurred on by this encounter, the OP decides to try making contact with any resident spirits by using a spirit box app on his phone.
Oh, they have these things as apps meanwhile? Oh, come on. I wouldn't trust that thing one bit. I mean, they could be programmed. I'm guessing. I think they could be easily programmed to just spit out words that, you know, have some... that are just creepy or would fit perfectly. I mean, you wouldn't program a word like, I don't know, toothbrush into it, but something like death or ghost or, you know, words like that. That would be so easy. I guess. I don't know much about programming, but I'm pretty sure it can be done, and if somebody knows what he or she is doing, I'm pretty sure it can be easily done. I mean, there's so many apps for all sorts of things, so why not do that and give the people using them what they want?
Hay alguien aquí conmigo.
Soon enough, he hears the word lárgate, which means go away in Spanish.
Te estoy molestando aquí. ¿Necesitas algo?
Later in the exploration, the YouTuber is spooked by something in the distance.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¡A la verga! ¡Ay, no, 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 no,
What?
no, no, no,
What?
It's difficult to tell what he sees, but it's clearly unsettling him.
¿Qué es eso? ¡A la verga! ¡Ay, no, 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 no! ¡Hola!
Well, but at least he runs
Then, just a few minutes later,
in the direction,
this
so
happens.
yeah, props to
Tengo
him.
miedo. ¡A la madre! No, 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 no.
Okay, now he turns and runs.
It's hard to see at first, but if we watch it again and slow it down, a figure pops out from behind a tree on the right.
But that could be a real person. I mean, maybe that's some. I don't know if homeless people would stay on graveyards, but maybe it was just somebody still at the grave mourning someone and hearing the dude, you know, and also be irritated, like where are these sounds coming from, and maybe scared as well, and just peeking out, and they scared each other.
Freaks him out so much, he flees the area. He grabs his camping stuff and leaves the property altogether. So what was the figure this OP managed to catch on camera? Was it a squatter following him around, or could it be the legendary witch that's said to haunt this very graveyard? Take another look at the footage and decide for yourself.
Maybe just random people still at the graveyard late because they can't leave, you know, or don't want to leave, or something like
weeks
that.
ago, we featured a story on the bizarre sightings turning up in an Amazon Prime travel series. When the show, James May, Our Man in Italy, aired, viewers quickly spotted these strange anomalies in the background of several shots. First, in this field.
He was a composer who said, "You may have the universe.
Oh, come on.
But I may have."
What is that?
That looked like a reflection on somebody on a blah, 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 blah. Sorry, a reflection on glass. Somebody walking by, but it could have been just. I mean, come on. I think that would be really perfect way of causing hype for a show that maybe isn't going well, and now everyone will watch it because they want to see a ghost in the background, especially if it happens multiple times. If it happens once, who knows? But you know me by now, I'm very, very, very skeptic, unfortunately, as much as I believe. But if it's a show like that, I'm 100% sure that was fake just to get people to watch the show.
Then another one was spotted in this shot
see?
as well.
Oh, because these woods.
Then
are
it's
very
definitely
much
fake.
Near where I live, in South Wiltshire, it's got the same gradient, it's got the same sort of. Because these woods are very much like the ones near where I live, in South Wiltshire. It's got the same gradient, it's got the same sort of trees.
Nah, I'm
Well,
not
now
buying it.
even more bizarre sightings have been spotted in the same show. This time it's in episode 4 when May is inside of a parking garage in Florence. Take a look.
Liked best, which was a little bit awkward, but
No, they just want people. They want.
Transparent figure of a man can be seen walking from left to right.
a little bit awkward.
They just want people to watch
Then
the
in
show.
episode 2, House of Pain, another figure can be seen in the background.
It probably is worth remembering that this actually is a mass grave.
When we first ran the story, the most prominent theory was that it was simply a glitch. Even May himself took to Twitter to say it's most likely a corrupted file.
Digital file corruption.
With so many figures spotted in the
Sorry, this is not quite this. Well, it kind of has something to do, but the other day I saw a video of a guy explaining the reptilian eyes, you know, when they sometimes glitch as well, and he said that it didn't happen until digital cameras. I unfortunately forgot the exact explanation, but it was a very technical one, and it made sense that that there was an overlap of pictures, and that because he had an example of Merkel. Ugh. And she did an interview she was being interviewed on German television, and at one point she blinked and it looked really reptilian, or you know what I mean. And he explained it and did a close-up and did a fake example that while she just closed her eyes and opened them, and there was an overlap of the picture, and that's why it looked so weird. And that just came to my mind when he said something about the digital thingy, that these kind of glitches apparently didn't happen before there were digital cameras. And yeah, there's a totally normal explanation to it, just as I thought. And I said, but I was unable to explain it, and I'm still unable to explain it because, of course, I forgot the explanation, but I kind of gave you a bit, so yeah, that was
Background, one has to wonder whether the production company that made the show is having a laugh, or accidentally released the show with loads of corrupted files. However, there are those who believe something might be following James May around. They've noted that it's highly unlikely that so many glitched files would make it to air in a high-budget show such as this. They believe these are genuine sightings of a spirit that has attached itself to May.
No, I think
so
they're
where do you
doing
land
it on
on the
purpose.
sightings? Are they glitches, or is it something a little more sinister? Let me know your theories in the comments down below.
Sorry I keep talking over him. No, I think it's either it's glitches, or they're doing it on purpose, so, you know, to cause commotions and people talk about the show, and then they watch it to see if they can spot more ghosts.
Actually, is a mass grave.
British YouTuber Mark B Television is normally known for their comedy sketches and vox pop style interviews. However, in this episode, they decide to do something a little bit different. After hearing rumours that a public park in Manchester, England is supposedly haunted, he decides to film there late at night, all alone.
I'm going to have a wander around at midnight with a camera.
The YouTuber explains that he often jogs in the park but had never heard the spooky stories that it may be haunted.
I didn't even know this place was apparently haunted until recently, and I've been jogging here for a while.
Right on midnight, the YouTuber begins his exploration of the property.
The clock has just struck midnight, and I've turned the camera up as bright as it'll go.
The park, known as Boggart Hole Clough, is located in Blackley, Manchester. It's a sprawling woodland that dates back to the Bronze Age. For decades, there have been persistent rumours that the whole area is haunted by ancient spirits. The most infamous urban legend that clings to the property is that of the mischievous elf-like creature known as the Boggart. It's said to inhabit the crumbled ruins of an old farmhouse deep within the woods. As far back as the 18th century, there have been reports of children going missing while walking through Boggart Hole Clough. As more and more kids went missing, townsfolk began to blame the Boggart, claiming that it was dragging them into the woods, never to be seen again.
But if those are really big woods, they could easily get lost. But then why would so many just wander off?
Spurred on by these eerie tales, our YouTuber continues to explore the park in near pitch black.
When I finish jogging here late at night, I have still seen the odd person around, so...
While the scenery is quite unsettling, nothing too strange seems to happen.
Apart from that, absolutely nobody
sorry.
around whatsoever.
That is until he explores a nearby bridge. Take a look at what he sees.
And as I said, it leads to the 99 steps and to the higher bridge. And the thing about Boggart Hole Clough Park is... Hello?
But that's obviously a person
Who's that?
who's
Who's that?
either in on it or pranking him.
A person appears out of the darkness. They're wearing a grey hood and mask, making it difficult to discern any features.
Well, yeah, either he's in on it or maybe that guy just hangs around there every night to scare people who come by and get them talking that there's a haunting going on. Or some weird guy, some weird creature at the bridge.
Hello?
They walk slowly without saying a word.
Who's that?
The OP turns and
Shit
runs
myself.
and the video abruptly ends. If this was just another person exploring the park at night time, you'd think they'd make themselves known, or avoid the man with the camera altogether. Instead, they approach with an eerie calmness.
Who's that?
So did this person have sinister intentions? Or could it be, as some viewers have pointed out, a modern version of the Boggart? Perhaps this is a malevolent entity looking to drag people into the darkness, never to be seen again. Whichever way you look at it, this encounter is certainly creepy.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I mean, people, they can be fucking scary.
Dark Ghost
stuff
Paranormal
they
is an
do.
infamous paranormal YouTube channel based in Russia. In this episode, they explore an abandoned school that was once used by the Germans in World War II. The dilapidated ruins of the old school show quite clearly that a fire has ripped through the buildings. Local eyewitnesses say that just prior to the fire, a silhouette of a woman was looking out of one of the windows. Moments later, the entire east wing of the school was aflame. No one could identify the woman, and the exact cause of the fire remains unknown to this day.
I'd be scared
Dennis,
that
the lead
shit
investigator,
falls
explores
down.
the property looking for clues as to what happened all those years ago. Shortly into the exploration, the OP sets up a spirit box to try and communicate with any spirits that might be present. Take a listen.
Это ты сожгла это помещение?
Да.
To continue the investigation, Dennis sets up a series of cameras around the property. It isn't long before one of them catches something strange. Two doors in one of the burnt-out hallways seem to open by themselves.
But there could easily be somebody inside.
A
Pushing
short
them
while
open.
later, while Dennis explores one of the rooms, something truly eerie happens.
Дай мне знак, если надо где-то еще искать.
Watching that again, while the OP asks for any signs that a spirit might be present, several boxes and chairs slide into the middle of the room.
Strings.
Later, while conducting a spirit box session in the basement of the school, more eerie activity is captured.
Okay, that sounds creepy as fuck.
Lights turn off, and what sounds like running footsteps can be heard all around.
Yeah, but that still could be a friend of his just running around there, aiding him to get some
After the lights
paranormal
turn back
recordings.
on, his spirit box gives an ominous warning. He then asks what the presence might want.
Что тебе нужно от меня?
Твоя душа.
Oh, come on.
The spirit box's response proves too much for the YouTuber as he decides to quickly leave the property.
Все,
So what's going on at this old abandoned school? Could a dark presence really have been responsible for the fire all those years ago? According to this YouTuber's footage, there's definitely something strange happening at the school, but just what that is remains unknown.
Sorry, I'm not buying it.
Before we take a look at some creepy footage that many say is evidence of a shadow person, remember to hit that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our scary and creepy videos.
Oh, sorry, I'm just so fucking tired.
This is a classic piece of footage that's been haunting the internet since 2013. It was first uploaded to YouTube by a channel called Maximum Disclosure. The footage was captured by a homeowner who had been experiencing some strange things inside of their home. Doors banging in the night and disembodied whispers were becoming an all too common occurrence. So the homeowner decided to set up a series of cameras around his house to try and capture some evidence of the strange goings on. This is what one of the cameras caught. It's the middle of the night and no one's around. A shadow appears to slowly creep across the room.
That's obviously the shadow of somebody walking.
The OP claims it's evidence of paranormal activity. Responses to the clip have been varied over the years, but a strong contingent of viewers believe this is evidence of a shadow person. Shadow people are a bizarre phenomenon reported by thousands of people all around the world. While all kinds of people have claimed to see shadowy people out the corners of their eyes, it's patients suffering from sleep disorders that witness them the most. The creepy thing is, the reports
that explains a lot, because I've been seeing a lot of shit out of the corners of my eyes when I'm tired, ever since last year when I started getting this extreme insomnia. I usually have light flashes. It's like, you know, like sparks flying by, and then I turn my head and then there's nothing there, or sometimes it's just a hair sticking out reflecting light. I don't really have many shadows, but I see a lot of sparky things, but I only have that when I'm extremely messed up from not sleeping, so I don't really pay much attention to it because I'm tired and shit, you know, and haven't slept. But thanks for that explanation. I was guessing it was coming from that, from me not sleeping.
Come from countries all around the globe, yet the witnesses describe almost the exact same thing. Insomniacs and those suffering from sleep paralysis describe a dark figure that stands in the corner of the room.
That I luckily don't have.
Sometimes the figure's wearing a hat and just watches them while they lay in bed, paralyzed, unable to move.
I've heard of it.
Recently we asked our viewers through the YouTube community tab if anyone had experienced sleep paralysis. Here are a few of the more unsettling responses that we received. This first one's from 12 Hon. I get them every now and then. When it grabs a hold of me, the borderlines of my vision is enshrouded in dark purple. I have to gather enough momentum to start a rocking motion to break free while feeling an immense pressure throughout my body. Feels as if gravity has intensified. When I'm feeling brave enough, I don't resist my eyelids from opening, as I'm usually greeted with some dark impression of my imagination.
Sounds terrifying.
Our viewer Tish says, yes, many times. The scariest one was last year. I live in an apartment that has sliding doors for closets. I was asleep on my back in bed with my head turned towards the closet. The closet slowly opened and I saw this black figure come out of it. It sat on my bed and I actually felt the side of my bed go down from the weight of this thing. I felt like my eyes were wide open and this figure's fingers started coming slowly towards my face. I told myself this thing isn't real, it isn't real, and I wasn't afraid of the thing. So I ended up biting the figure's finger as hard as I could. That's when it disappeared and the closet shut and I woke up. I couldn't move my body at all, so that's why I decided to bite its finger. It seemed so real.
Oh, that is so creepy. I mean, with this, it seemed so real. I'm pretty sure all of us have had dreams that dreams as well that seemed so real. I used to have tons of dreams back in the days, and then at some point I think it had a lot to do that I started smoking weed, and I couldn't really remember my dreams anymore. But I luckily only have nightmares when I have fevers. When I get really sick and have fevers, that's when I have nightmares. But last year I had a nightmare, or was it last year or early this year? And it was really weird. It was just short. I mean, for some weird reason in my dream, I was going to a party with my mom, and it was this big house, and we went there, and I don't remember everything. I just remember bits. And then in this house, we were separated, and there were no other people, and I just felt this evil presence, and I was so scared in my dream. I just wanted to get out of that house, and I couldn't wake up, and I couldn't do anything. And I just remember at some point I finally made it out of the house, and I felt the pressure falling from me, and I started feeling relieved, and that's when I started waking up. And just the second before I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, where's my mom? She's still in the house. And then the fear came back, and I woke up, and that was horrible. I mean, nothing really happened, but it was just so horrible because of this feeling of fear that I had. That was really, and then it was just 2 nights ago I fell asleep, and I woke up shortly after, and I don't remember what I dreamed, but I had a real bad feeling left. And that is just so weird, because I don't get nightmares without being sick, and I'm not sick, and I wasn't last year, so that kind of creeped me out. Why did I tell you this? Oh, right, because of because of it feels so real. I've heard a lot about sleep paralysis, but I've never, luckily, let's knock on wood here, luckily never had that. I have enough issues. I don't need more. So yeah, sorry, let's go back.
I had this experience. I stumbled over this post and I got chills reading the descriptions of people's experiences. The fact is, I've only ever told my husband the story of my sleep paralysis, but I've had this happen to me just once. It was October of 1996, Long Island, New York. I was sleeping and believed I had awoken. It was light outside and I heard birds. However, I couldn't move my body nor my head, but my eyes could move. With them, I could see only the window of this ground floor room begin to open. A small man with greyish skin began to crawl in through the window, feet first. I could hear the window, heard the sounds of garments moving through the now open window and his clogs as he dropped down onto the hardwood floor. When he turned towards me, it was the first time I felt terror, and I realised there was something very wrong. I realised at this point that I wasn't just having a nightmare. I wanted to run badly, but I couldn't move at all, not even a fingertip. I could see that the thing that crawled through my window had a long grey duster coat and a beat-up, bent old hat, with a brass-buckled black hat band. He had long, stringy black hair and even longer teeth. Its red eyes then locked onto my own. It grimaced when it noticed me and then began limping across the room towards me. I was literally fighting with every ounce of my being to move, but again I couldn't budge.
That must be so
As it began to climb my
terrifying.
bed near my knees, I was able to finally close my eyes and scream. I woke up for real and bolted out of bed into the hallway, causing a lot of noise in the process. I knocked a picture off the wall that broke the frame. Funny, it turns out I never screamed out loud. It was only in my head.
Oh, Jesus.
But my bedroom window was now wide open on this October morning in New York. The best way I can describe my assailant, or spirit, or whatever these creatures are, is a leprechaun with fangs. Crazy and stupid sounding, I know, but it's 100% true.
Oh, it sounds creepy as fuck.
Then
Jesus.
Shannon Marie says, I've had it 3 times. The worst one, I was in my bedroom and I could see the street light coming through my windows and closet doors, etc. My cat was laying next to me, but I couldn't move. On the ceiling opened up a big black hole and I could see what appeared to be demons swirling around inside of it. Think Dementors on Harry Potter. I started praying and I believed in my head that what appeared in front of my face was the devil. He flung a flat piece of metal over my mouth and told me no confessing.
Oh,
I could feel the
God.
metal sealing my mouth shut. I was crying and I was trying to move. I could feel my arm pressing up against my cat and barely nudging him, when it all kind of just sucked up into the ceiling and I gasped for air and sat up in bed. The sides of my hair and my pillow were soaked with tears and the cat booked it out of my room. They always seem so real, and it's the most terrible, darkest fear I've ever had in my life.
Jeez.
So how is it the people from all over the world seem to be experiencing the exact same thing? Some sleep experts believe it could be nothing more than hallucinations brought on by a flight or fight situation. When a sudden elevation in heart rate occurs while sleeping, it's possible the body begins to hallucinate to try and wake up.
Wait, no, let's...
So is it all just a hallucination, or is there more to it? I'm sure if you ask our viewers who have experienced it, it was all too real for them.
I'm still trying to...
Now, if you can't get enough of the old Slack cam, then don't worry, we've got you covered. Check out that creepy video on the top there. Otherwise, we have an enormous paranormal playlist there that'll keep you entertained well into the evening, we promise. Now, remember to leave us a comment down below and hit that thumbs up button. And that's it from me. I'll see you all next time.
What I just found interesting is that, for some reason, so doctors or scientists don't know what causes these things. I would have thought they'd know. I mean, like with dreams, right? That dreams are like a big jumble of your brain sorting things out and putting shit together and whatnot, and I would have thought that sleep paralysis would be something similar, but I wouldn't know what causes the paralysis. So, well, theoretically I can theorize until eternity. Well, it doesn't really make sense then if I do so, because yeah. But I find it interesting though that I don't know what to say, and I want to say 1,000 things at once, because I'm guessing that it's some kind of elemental fear that everyone has. I mean, wouldn't anyone be scared to be paralyzed and have someone creepy looking coming at you? You know? I think everyone would be afraid of that, so that is some elemental human fear that some danger is threatening you and you can't run from it. And then that fear plays out a little different in everyone. But it would be interesting to know what causes it. Maybe it's some kind of body drug thing. You know, not saying that these people took drugs, but you know, there's drugs in your body, or chemicals, maybe that's the better word, some chemical thing as well, caused by fear. God damn, I have so many questions. But I like these kind of topics. I find them really fascinating and interesting. And yeah, I'm always curious to know, like, how does this happen? How does this work? How does this function? That's like one of the main things that's kept me going my whole life, because due to being diagnosed with depression so early, I wanted to always understand, why does this happen? You know, why am I depressed? What is depression? Why? And it just kept kind of going, and getting, the questions became more and more like, why are people the way they are? And I got a lot of answers over the years, but I still have thousands of questions, so on we go for another who knows how many years. At least that way life won't become, well, it's still boring. But it has become boring the last couple of years, but At least my mind will still have shit to think about when it's not ruminating about bullshit. Never mind. I am getting a bit off topic here, but yeah, it was an interesting video. It was fun to watch. Creepy. At least, yeah, the things the people wrote, that was really creepy. So yeah, there was some creepiness to it. Yay. You guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you had fun as well and were creeped out. And did you ever have creepy situations or like that, or nightmares maybe that have stuck with you? I still remember nightmares from over 30 years ago. I remember when I was a kid, I had this weird nightmare that I still have some pictures of it in my head. Or when I was, I think, 16, 17, and it's so weird how this shit sticks with you for such a long time. But then I guess it's like these things. I mean, I remember where I was when I heard about 9/11, and I remember where I was when Lady Diana died. You know, these kind of things, I guess, because they have such an impact, such a negative impact, that they just get stuck in your head. Just with these experiences, they're just so terrifying that I guess they just stick with you for the rest of your life. Now I got I just trailed off again. You guys have a great day or a great night, and see you in the next video. Bye.